Ketter at the Cabin presents B.O.C. with Ketter. Fly fishing, stories, connection. Now pour yourself a drink. All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of B.O.C. with Ketter. We are hot and heavy in season 2. This is episode 3 already. And I do have a special guest. I'm very excited to chat today, get a little more into content creation. I will kick it over to my guest so he can introduce himself.
Hey, I'm Brenan and I run Midwest Fly Fishing, just a YouTube channel and kind of social media space here in the Midwest about kind of fly fishing areas.
Absolutely, man. I do want to say I'm a big fan. I came across your stuff a couple years ago and awesome content. You're catching some beautiful fish and it's just very fun to follow your journey. So keep it up.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Awesome. And I always open up the little chat with the little sipping on chat. I do have a little, this is a very fun creation. So this is orange juice, coconut water, and a little bit of salt. So I'm kind of trying to make my own Gatorade. That's what I'm working with. How about you?
I actually got a little bush peach. I crack it
Oh,
open.
dude. Those are
Classics.
heavenly. Do you like the peach better than the apple or do you have a preference?
Yeah, I kind of like the fruity stuff. I'm not gonna lie. So I like
Yeah.
that. I like the apple the best, but I like the
Yeah.
peach and apple over just normal bush. So
Yeah, dude. Bush is one of my favorite beers. I just got married a couple months ago, and my
yeah,
signature drink was a Bush with a pickle. I was like,
that's
yeah,
cool.
that's just how it is.
Yeah, Midwest.
Awesome,
So
dude. Exactly. It's the Midwest. Awesome. Well, cool. We'll kick right into it. So, Brennan, how long have you been fly fishing?
I've been fly fishing since I was 10 years old, which would have been 2013. Yeah, just I had dad's buddy from work, had done it back on the East Coast in the Appalachians, and he had moved here and started fishing some of the local northern driftless waters in Wisconsin. And he took us out, and I mean, it was a struggle at first. I think the first 4 or 5 times I went, I didn't hook a fish even. But also being 10 years old, you don't know what to do with your left or right hand, and yeah. So, but yeah, I got a pretty on start at it. So
Dude, that's incredible. 10 years old. Yeah, I can't imagine trying to learn fly fishing at 10. Like that'd be a challenge. Like even like as a full grown adult, it's like, okay, this is a lot of steps. This is a lot of different things to think about. So at 10, that's impressive.
yeah, it was a struggle though.
Oh, I bet. Do you think you caught like your first fish like around that age 10 or did it take you like a couple years?
So actually, I didn't get a fish on the fly like the whole first year. One day
Okay.
we went and did some spinning fishing just to like catch something, and I got a few of my first stream trout. And then I went out to Montana and caught a bunch on the fly. And then I had confidence and came back and I just started catching fish on my own in the driftless. So I will say it helped going out there and just having a ton of. I mean, it's pretty good fishing out west too. So
It is,
yeah,
man. It is. I hope to get out there a little bit more as my life continues to move
yeah,
on. It's like I don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the Driftless and that will always be home and it's a beautiful place. But I feel like every fisherman kind of has that pull to like get out and explore different areas because that's half of it. That's why we like to do this stuff. So it's like, all right, I kind of want to get west. I kind of want to try Canada. I kind of want to start expanding, but we'll get there someday. This episode is brought to you by Root River Rod Co. Spring is right around the corner, which means it's time to gear up. Whether you need rods, reels, flies, or fresh apparel for the season ahead, they've got you covered. Head on over to the website linked below, load up on whatever you need. And don't forget to use promo code KETTER15 at checkout to receive 15% off your order. All right, let's get back to the episode. Awesome. So yeah, it's 10 years old, dude. That's incredible. So at what point in your fishing journey were you like, all right, I like doing this. I want to make some content out of this.
I think it would have been 2018. After 5 years doing, it, I'm like I feel like finally felt proficient enough. I could do a little filming. Obviously, wasn't an expert at that point. And then just that was when the YouTube era. I'm not gonna lie, was getting bigger. I was watching like the Guggen Squad and guys like that, and they were kind of telling people like, if you want to do this, do it. And on top of that, I thought at the worst, if nobody watches it, it'd be cool to look back. It's a cool way to log your fishing, actually see what the river looked like, what you were using that day. It's basically like a free log, and you catch funny moments on camera. If you get a big fish, you can relive the eat. So I just thought it would be fun to start recording my journeys.
Dude, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. When I decided to, you know, take it a little further instead of just posting little clips, I was like, you know what? I'm going to start this YouTube and like literally what you said, worst case scenario, it's like my daily journal and like something I could show my
Exactly.
kids someday. Like, hey, this is what your dad did back in the day. Like, sit down, watch it. And like, it's just fun to have that space to create too. It's like, okay, I want to put myself into something. And it's like, well, It's free. You can start creating. You just need, some gear and some stuff like that. So it's very cool to, create and have that space to just share your stories. So that's awesome. Awesome. And then, so did you start out just making like little clips like for like Instagram or stuff? Or when did you decide
Honestly,
like
when I
YouTube
was
was
getting
going to be it?
into it, the social media era wasn't as big, I feel like the clips weren't the big deal, it was YouTube. So, I mean, I started with full-fledged, like, 8 to 10 videos, and then it kinda became more recently, I've gotten more into do posting clips and doing the other social media apps, but it originally just started as straight up YouTube videos. So,
Dude,
longer format, yeah.
that's cool. That's cool. Cause like honestly, yeah, it's flipped now. It's like if you're not in the shorts game and the reels game, it's kind of hard to like push that, drive
Yeah,
to
and
get people to
it's
watch.
easier to do the shorts. I mean, you can take a
It
couple
is.
phone clips and make 5, 6 shots into a little reel, and they can get lots of likes and views, or the YouTube, I mean, you know how it is, doing a full video and actually getting people to watch it can be a bit of work.
Dude, it's a ton of work, yeah, and, like yeah, it's a ton of work, and, like, learning edit like, I didn't know anything when I got into it, I was like, "You know what, I'm just gonna do this," and, like, editing, like, looking back a year f I started a year ago on YouTube, and looking back now, it's like, wow, within a year, you can learn a lot if
Mhm.
you really just put your head down and learn, it's like, whew, some of those first videos, like, wow.
Yeah, tell
It's
me
it's
about
fun.
that.
It's a good
Yeah,
reflection. It's like, "Oh, wow, this is because like, I'm not, like, a super techie guy. I mean, I'm fairly techie, I guess, but, like, I'm not like some of these people. Some of these people are wizards out here, and it's like, "Oh,
yeah.
wow, okay." That's awesome. So this is something I struggle with too. How do you decide, what content is worth sharing and what's kinda, content you just wanna keep to yourself?
I mean, yeah, I feel like I film so much that never gets put out. I'm, like,
Oh,
hard
yeah.
on myself. I only wanna post, like, good fish, nice fish, like, the best shot, so I leave a lot out, and I would just say too, I leave a lot of the, like, talking and adventure out. I kinda really do just focus on the fish, which I do wanna
Yeah,
expand on more, but that's kinda how it goes for me is, like, I wanna put out what I think is good enough to put out.
yeah. I like that you say that. Yeah, you do, like, the straight up just catching fish and catching big fish and having that straight action. You do a phenomenal job at that, like, your videos, it's constant action, and people at the end of the day, people wanna see people catch fish and stuff, so I think that's perfect, and when you're catching, beautiful fish in different varieties like that, I think people are just like, "Oh, there's so much here that I can watch," it's trout, it's northern pike, and you do some traveling too, don't you, a little bit?
Yeah, yeah, we can get into that later. I've done a
Yeah.
lot just the last 2 years, so
Dude, that's incredible. That's incredible. So another question for you, just content creation wise. Do you like to, like batch film stuff or do you kind of get an idea in your head and then go out and do it? Or what does that look like
that's
for you?
actually a great question. I have
Yeah.
2 styles where, like, I will go out, I'm gonna record, but whatever happens, happens, and if it's a good day, boom, like, yes, the leech bite was on, the melt happened perfectly, like, this can be a perfect, like, streamer leech video, like, I got all the B-roll I needed in one day, like, all the shots, I just need to do an intro,
Mhm.
and then other times, it doesn't work out and you just don't have a video, but that's just how it is. Then other times though, do I do plan like, I'm gonna do this today. Like I wanna talk about some more stuff. And if the fish catching isn't catching, I'm still gonna try to make a video. So there is some days I've tried to plan out stuff or like a how-to video, for
Mhm.
example.
Yeah, yeah, the how to your last one was awesome, the winter one, yeah, that how to stuff is very important. I mean, like, honestly, YouTube at its core, I feel like is kinda like a how-to
Information.
platform.
Yeah.
Like, it just kinda started like that, and people will always, no matter what level they're at, like to watch people do stuff, especially if, you're successful at it. It's like, "Oh, I didn't know that, maybe that's something I can take to the river now." So, those are super cool to have those how-tos, I do
Yeah.
like those.
Well,
That's
even
all.
on some of those bigger adventures, yeah, I feel like I try to get my head like, I want this shot
Mhm.
beforehand.
Yeah,
Maybe the fishing isn't gonna be good, but you kinda know it's more of an epic day or an epic trip, and you kinda wanna get the go into the river and stuff like that, and then I've had, like, some where you roll up at 2 and you actually catch a big fish on accident, and you're like,
yeah.
"Damn it, I didn't film any B-roll, I didn't, like,
Yeah,
film an intro," but that happened, so I'm still
dude,
gonna video about it. So, yeah, it's
amen
50,
to that.
yeah, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. I'll have those days where, like, 3 days like, if I know I'm going fishing, let's say on, like, a Friday, like,
Yeah,
Wednesday will come around and I'm like, "Alright, I'm gonna bring everything. I'm bringing the
yeah,
drone. I'm bringing 4 cameras.
you're
I'm gonna
set on
make
it,
this
yeah,
sick video."
yep,
And then you get
yep,
out there and you have a terrible day and it's like,
yep.
"No."
And then you're frustrated, and then you go a day with just 1 GoPro, 1 battery, and you're like, "Oh my
Yep.
god, the lights out."
Dude, I
Yeah,
love yeah, the 1 battery thing, like, yeah, once it dies, and then I'm like, "Alright, I'm fishing today."
yeah,
That's awesome. Then, yeah, like you said, there's days where you maybe after work go out for 2 hours and you just have the GoPro running and you just, you put a 15, 20 fish in the net and you're like, wow, didn't expect that.
yep.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So this is definitely another tough one for probably all creators and something that I've definitely kind of contemplated in my head, how do you balance out just still fishing for fun and getting that enjoyment and then the content side?
Man, I fish a lot more than I film. I film 20 to 30% of my fishing. I do a lot of conventional fishing in the summer. I fish bass really hard, muskies really hard. I've done a few videos with them, but I try to keep it fly content as much as I
Yeah.
can.
Mhm.
But I mean, yeah, I do a ton. Like my last trip I just did, I didn't film all of because it was a exploratory trip. You know, I was going out with buddies that were kind of showing me spots, so it was just
Yeah.
film. And I was doing a lot of center pin, which I also got into. So yeah, I would say I'm pretty well trying to be a well-rounded angler outside of fly fishing. So yeah, that's not what keeps me from burning out is doing everything else and not filming that. And then just
Dude,
trying to focus on filming the fly stuff.
that's really cool. I never thought about it like that. That's interesting. Yeah, you're kinda always bringing in something new and learning new tactics and learning new things. That's a good point.
Definitely fly first for trout fishing on the streams though. You know, I like to fly fish there. I feel like you're not as much as a disadvantage as like if you're lake fishing muskies per se. So
Right.
but I do the warm water game. I'm looking to get more into it and doing some more filming with like smallies and muskies on the fly.
Yeah.
So
Agreed. That is definitely, that's big around our area, as you know, like the smallies on the Mississippi. There's like
yeah, I'm in
there's a
Brenan
whole
now.
culture
So
for that right now. Like it's a
yeah.
big thing.
I mean, my first summer living up here, I'm looking forward to it, so
Dude, yeah, you're gonna enjoy that. I caught my first couple ones last spring with a couple buddies, and I was like,
yeah.
yeah, I could see where this gets addicting pretty quickly.
Yo, no, I hear you. My buddy took me out on his jet boat for the first time last May, and it was just I was like, "Okay, like, this is all I wanna do in the summer now." Like,
Yeah,
screw lake
because like
fishing.
exactly. And dude, like, at the end of the day, like summer in the driftless, it's a good time to be out there, but
Yes, it
you're
is.
dealing with a lot of different stuff. You're
You
dealing with the
get to the
choke
itch
tank.
weed, you get to those hot days, and
Yeah,
the fishing can be very windy, and you just like, "Let the trout be, I wanna go do something else, this sucks."
exactly. Yep, I wanna go sit in a boat and not struggle in waders and
Mhm.
die.
Yo,
Oh, yeah, dude, I've talked to a lot of people that I run into, and they're like, "Yeah, once May ends, it's like smallies till
yeah.
September."
I mean, I definitely
Yeah.
try to do some night fishing. I've been trying to do more of
Yeah.
it as I get into summer because it's a little bit cooler at night and like you don't have to fish the whole day. You can just go out for a 2, 3 hour window. And if it happens, it happens. And if it doesn't, you go whatever. So
Yeah, exactly, yeah. You get pretty into the mousing? I think I've seen some of
I've been
your
getting more and
mousing
more
content.
into it. I mean, I caught my biggest fish at night, which wasn't mousing, was streamer fishing. But that kind of after getting that, it's like I gotta start doing this more. So I have done it more with some limited success, but again, filming that's something I just don't even film. It's kind of impossible, you know. So
Yeah, I don't even know where to begin with that night fishing and filming, like, what?
yeah, you never can get a video of the fish once you catch it and get a good
Mhm.
picture of it, but that's about it, you know,
Yeah,
so
yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna be running out there with, night vision goggles, and I don't have that kind of money, you know? That's awesome, man. So awesome, cool. Another fun question for you. What's a video you thought would totally just, like, crush, but it just didn't?
so, this recent one I did it was out west, and I was streamer fishing on this little cutthroat creek, and it just the scenery was amazing. The cutties weren't the biggest, but the biggest one I think was, like, 16, 17 inches, but they're just gorgeous native cutthroat. I thought it was the scenery was cool, I got some good eats. Nobody watched it, but maybe that's just because 'cause I'm a Midwest channel, you know, people aren't watching for the out west stuff, but I thought maybe even the Midwest audience would wanna see, you know, taste out west, but no, it completely flopped, but it is what it is.
No, that's interesting. You're probably onto something there, and I think that we'll talk about that a little bit
Yeah,
later about like Midwest and trout and West, content
yeah.
creators. But yeah, I do think people, in this area, it's like, well, oh, we don't have cutties around here. But like, if you like watching people catch fish, I think it's still worth it's still worth a watch. And then how about vice versa? Is there a video you're like, I don't know if I want to put this out, but it took off.
This the recent, like, canoe float video I did,
That was sick.
I just had no drone footage from it, like, not the best B-roll, I just filmed that all with, like, one action cam in my phone. I mean, I caught one nice fish in it for sure, but definitely had less action than a lot of my other videos, and it got, like, I don't know, 3,000 something views, and
That's a
just I
lot.
didn't expect it to do, you know? So that
Yeah.
happens every you know?
It does, it does. Who knows where it comes from, but yeah, like, honestly, like, probably well, it is my best video. There's not even any fishing in it. It's just me, like, fixing up a camper and going camping. I'm like,
What?
"What? Come on."
People wanna see it get that camper up. Yeah, I think a big thing has to do with timing and thumbnails too, like, especially with
Yeah,
that one. It was winter, dead of winter. I think I posted it when it was too cold to fish, which I sometimes purposely do because it's like everybody that could be out fishing right now can't be, so they're just wanting to be out fishing. They're dreaming of it. They wanna watch it, even if they don't normally watch YouTube.
that's a
And
good
then
point. Yeah,
so, yeah.
that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, people are, hunkered up, especially in, in the Midwest. There's unless you're in
Exactly.
Iowa, it's pretty much we have a closed period where you cannot catch trout,
Yep.
inland wise, and it's like, well, People are probably sitting there just scratching away to get out there and do some fishing. I know I was.
Exactly.
And then, I mean, we had that, what, 3 weeks in January where, like, you literally couldn't go fishing, like, it
Don't
it
get
was
me started.
impossible. Yeah,
I
dude,
hate ice fishing.
I'm not a big ice fisherman,
I
I'll go,
go,
like,
but
twice a year.
yeah. I mean, living in Brainerd, I have been doing a little bit more, but I
Mhm.
hate it.
Yeah, yeah, it's just not. I always tell my like, my buddies are really into it, and that's cool, I'm happy for 'em, and I'll go
Yeah,
with them, but, like, I always tell 'em, like, I'm always joking, I'm always like, "Well, my brain can only take in so much information, and it's mostly fly fishing, I don't have room for ice fishing."
yeah.
Also don't have the budget for it, because that is a very expensive way
It
to
is.
fish.
It can get expensive quick for sure.
Dude, absolutely. I might go this weekend just because, but I don't know, we'll see, we'll see.
The sturgeon on the Croix are pretty cool, I will say that.
Dude.
That fishery is pretty cool and unique to this area.
Yeah, I follow some guys on Instagram that are, like, dialed in on that, and I'll just chat them. I'm just, like, curious, and I do wanna give that a try because that's very close to my home, and it's
Yeah,
like,
they're
"Oh, that'd be
big
fun."
fish too. I mean, they're prehistoric, they're pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, dude, have you ever caught one?
No, I have a close buddy though who's been doing it this winter, and he's had really good success. I mean, they've had some 20 fish nights, not the biggest fish, but lots of like 30 to 40-inch fish.
Holy cow, 20?
Mhm. Yeah, it's been really good. A lot of small fish, but a lot of fish out
I'd
there.
I'd
Apparently the
take that,
fishery's doing
man.
really good, so it's good to hear that.
Yeah. No, absolutely, absolutely. So, looking back on your journey, is there any, like, mistakes that you made with, like, gear or editing or
Whoa.
posting?
I'm on my 4th drone. I'm on my 4th action cam. I've like 2 of the drones I still have, I'd have to get them repaired. They're get like completely wrecked. I lost one completely. Like I don't know where it is. It went in the water somewhere when I was lake
Oh,
fishing.
dang.
Yeah, so I've gone through a lot of gear. It's not easy out here. And yeah, I went through 2 camera lenses and like I said, 4 I'm on my 4th action cam. So
Are you?
yeah.
Dang. Yeah, dude, it adds up quick.
GoPros
It adds
suck.
up.
I'm on the DJIs now. I hate the GoPros.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, you like the DJIs, huh?
Yeah, I just had one GoPro Hero 5 was really good to me, and then I bought it finally went, and then I bought an 8, didn't like it, bought a 9, hated it, so then I went to the DJI now, and I'm liking
Okay.
mine so far, but
I
yeah.
might have to look into that. I've always been GoPro, and I don't have, like, I don't love them. I don't hate them. It's just kinda, like, right in the middle, like, yeah, it gets the content, but if there's
Yeah,
something
I
else
mean,
out there,
there if
yeah.
you have good luck with it, I'm not hating, I just
Yeah.
personally had a couple bad runs, and GoPro was bad about the warranty, I'm like, "I'm done." Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's just it. It's all honestly, when it comes to this stuff and fishing gear, it's
You know how
warranties are
that is.
huge. Yeah,
Every
war
diehard flying nerd knows it gets the fishing gear.
yeah, dude, these warranties they're very, very important. That's interesting. What kinda drones do you like to use, if you don't mind
I
sharing?
just have had DJIs. Yeah, I had the
Yeah,
Mini for a while, then I actually
same.
did Lance had a Mavic he sold me, which I really liked, and it was older, but it had really good, camera on it, and that one I crashed, and it's too old for DJI to repair is the issue. So now I'm
Yeah.
back to using another Mini. The Minis are nice because 'cause they're super
Mhm.
light, they're cheap,
Yeah,
and they just can fit in your, like I can put it in my little slim pack with my camera and something, it's not that much more added weight,
yeah.
so
Yeah, I agree, man. I have the little Mini too, and it's awesome. I just
yeah, you
like
know
you
how
said,
it
you can
is.
just throw it in
Yeah.
the back and, like, it's to me, it's pretty durable. Like, yeah, you can ding it up, but, like,
Yeah,
it's gonna hang in there. It's gonna hang in
yeah.
there.
I think
Have you
especially
seen
being on the rivers and stuff, like, if you're on a lake with big wind, it might be advantageous to have a bigger one, but for a lot of what I do, and I'm sure what you do, it's not crazy flights, so yeah.
Right, yeah, you're tucked into some valleys. You're not dealing with normally high winds down in the valleys at least, so that definitely does help, yeah. Have you seen those, I think they're brand new to the market, but the drones that, like, can go underwater and then come back up. Have you seen those?
Yeah, we actually have, like, because I work for a fishing media company, we have an
Oh, do
underwater
you?
drone we use, and
Oh,
it's freaking slick. We go chase down muskies with it and walleye and crap in the lakes, and it's got a 4K camera on it. It's like
what?
crystal clear image, yeah, it's pretty nice.
Dude, that's unbelievable. I just saw a commercial for him, I think on I don't know, I think it was just, like, on Instagram, actually, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh boy, that's pretty cool."
Ours doesn't go out of the water, it's in the water, but yeah.
That's sick, that's sick, and then, I mean, I'm sure you've seen the Meta sunglasses too. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
I
those look
actually
pretty
have a
cool."
friend who had 'em. We, like, went on a Smalley float this summer, he filmed
Mhm.
some clips on it, it turned out pretty good. I haven't posted any of them, but
Okay.
I was impressed by 'em. I was really impressed by the Meta glasses.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I think I might get some of those this year just for the season. I mean, honestly, like, it's 2 for 1, like, you're getting legit sunglasses and probably getting a good camera with it, so why not?
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
awesome. No, you bring up a good point where you just said, like, you have some footage from a small float that you haven't, like, posted. Do you just have a massive backlog?
Mhm.
Yeah,
There's a
yeah,
lot. I got
yeah,
a fucking, like, 3 terabyte drive of
yeah.
yeah, a lot of stuff, so, yeah.
It's funny how, like, yeah, and then you, like, pull maybe 40 seconds out of a 1-hour clip. It's like, "Alright, I'm gonna sit down and watch this for a whole hour."
Yep.
It's awesome. It's all part of it, though. We wouldn't be doing it if we didn't love it, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's the
That's
hobby
awesome.
within the hobby, so
It's exactly, and, like, that's a good way to put it because fly fishing's hard to begin with, and then you add trying to create, and I think I don't know if you're the same as me, but I'm fishing solo quite a bit, so I don't have a camera guy or anything like that, so it's like, oh, yeah, you gotta balance all these things while still trying to catch a fish, and it's
yeah.
a challenge. It's a challenge.
Thankfully, I will say through my channel, which we can touch on later, I have met some more people. So the last 2 years, I've had a little bit more help when sometimes filming videos, and it doesn't even need to be somebody shooting me. I like shooting other people, especially
Yeah,
when the
dude.
good,
Yeah.
especially trout. Like, if I catch 1 or 2, alright, let me shoot you for a bit, I don't care. So it's enjoyable when I can go with a good angler that can actually, fish well and looks good on camera because
I
turned out for
agree.
some of my better stuff, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree. Me and one of my buddies that I've met through just doing this too, August, he's been on a podcast and been in a couple videos, and we're like, dude, this summer, let's just kind of have those days where like you're the designated angler, I'm the designated camera guy, and we'll just kind of flip flop, and like that's fun because like you said, I love just seeing trout do what trout do. Like, yeah, I'd like to catch one probably every
Yeah.
time. Like, sure, let me
Yeah,
catch my
exactly.
first fish,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
all right, let's just go make some content. And then there's days where it's like I don't even want to see a camera. Like, put that in the car
Mhm.
and leave it.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you kind of touched base on this a little bit with your cutthroat video, but this is something that I think about a lot. Do you think like Midwest creators have to work a little harder than creators that are out in the West and kind of that habitat of trout fishing?
I think fly fishing or, like, the cold water species, yes. I think we have a huge market here for fishing, obviously, being up here, there is I think the lake fishing and the warm water species conventionally,
Hmm.
massive market here. You're no better market in the upper Midwest. But when it comes to fly fishing, which I will say since COVID has grown popularity, like, in the metro area in Minnesota, and it's been good to see in some ways, I think it's growing a little bit, but I just think it's still such the minority here, and when I've traveled out west, it's the complete opposite. Everybody has fly rods. Everybody's trout first. Everybody's obsessed with brown trout. Everybody wants to catch the big brown streamers. You talk about walleye, they look at you weird. They see a spinning rod, they look at you weird. It's the
Oh
complete
yeah,
opposite culture out there. So I do think I am at a disadvantage in that sense. But the one thing is, I will say there's a lot of other guys out west making videos where it's
yeah.
more of a niche community here in the Driftless. And I've noticed that there's not a lot of other people doing stuff in the Driftless for media. So I think that way it's easier to stand out. But I think you have maybe a lower ceiling then because of that.
Yeah, I think that's a great answer. I would agree with you 100% on that. Yeah, I mean, out west, everyone's creating out there. I mean, they mix it in with
It
snowboarding, they mix it in with whatever they mix it in with,
every town
mountain
has a
backpacking.
Tacoma and 50 Tacoma and drift boats out there. It's
Yeah,
crazy. It's all fly culture out there. Everybody's got a rod rack on their roof. Like, everybody fly fishes. It's the night and day compared to here.
it is, and like, I mean, I think there is a big group of people that do
Mhm.
fly fish in the driftless. Like it's taken off. I think like you kind of said with COVID just kind of
Yeah,
creeping around, people didn't know what to do, and it was like, oh, you can go walk the
trout
I
fishing,
won't say
yeah.
rivers, but yeah, you could go walk a river
Yeah.
and maybe catch a trout. So I
COVID
think
changed a
that
few things for sure and definitely got more popular, but I also think too the average driftless angler is a little less talky or showboaty just because it's a less big deal here too, so I think you hear about some of our fishing less just because of that.
that's a good point. Yeah, yeah, you're probably right. We wanna keep it that way too, right?
I mean, I make videos, so I can't talk, but,
Same, same. Yeah, I
gotta
get a
keep
little.
gotta keep the name of the creeks out of there, so
Yes, I agree. I was gonna ask that too. Yeah, I agree. You'll get some people that like just don't like you because it's like, oh, you're ruining the area because you're posting
I
stuff, and it's like that's not the goal. Like we're not in it to do that. And yeah, we'll keep stream names out. We'll keep regions out. It's just we're
yeah,
just trying to spread some joy. That's all
yep,
we're trying to do.
yep.
That's awesome. So, what keeps you posting when views are down or growth seems to kind of be stalling? What keeps you motivated?
I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, the views are motivating, meeting people is motivating, subscribers are motivating, but, I don't do it for that purely. I like just making videos, even, my first out west video, I didn't do good, and I'm still gonna post the other one I did at the lake because it's like I still have the content here, I still wanna make the video. Even if nobody watches it, I still wanna piece it together and watch that adventure for years to come. So like I said earlier, just for the other reasons I do YouTube. I still wanna post. But I will say there is times where fishing may be tough, maybe you post a few videos and not doing well, you just do get a little bit of lack of motivation,
Yeah.
so.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. Did you like, at a young age, did you have a knack for, like, making videos and editing, or did it really come when you were like, "Okay, I'm gonna start doing this with fishing," or is it something you kinda always had a knack
I
for?
will say, like, once I got a I think for, like, 2 or 3 years before I started my YouTube channel, once I got a phone, I got really into, like, being a little more artsy, like, taking pictures of close up on the trout and stuff like that. So I think I had a little bit of, like, a want to be creative with it and, like, turn it into media, and then it just kinda blossomed from there. And then, like, when I went to college, I went to school for marketing and digital media. Like, I
Did you?
kinda once I got into the YouTube, knew, like, this is what I wanna do. I like this. I like being around, creating content based off the outdoors, so.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You ever thought about, hanging it up or taking a break? You ever get overwhelmed with it?
This year, I filmed the most in 23 and 24. This year, I fished more than I had every year,
Mhm.
and I don't know, I just got to a point, like, you get doubts, yeah, obviously, you're filming stuff, so people are gonna there is a little bit of hot spot, and there is even if you're not naming it, people are gonna be seeing where you're fishing, and it gets to a point where I don't think I've noticed it really that much. My spot's getting busier, but I've noticed maybe some of the streams getting busier in general, so I thought about that for a second. And then just got I was spending a lot of money on gear and stuff like that going into filming. It's like, do I just wanna fish or do I wanna film? But I still am motivated to make videos as of now and definitely, going into 2026, wanna do some actually more filming than I did last year.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I like that answer. I think yeah, I think it's important to always have that fine balance of like, okay, I like to fish. I started doing this when I was 10 years old. Like, obviously, there's a strong passion and a love for that. And then it's like, okay, I want to make sure to never cross that line where I feel like I don't like it anymore because I feel pressure to, make this, do that. So I think that's very important. I think everyone goes through that when it comes to, creating. It's like, where do you draw that line?
Yeah, and I got to a point, like I said, the last years, as you get some hate from posting
Yeah.
spots, not that I would
Yeah.
and then you get a lot of people asking you where you're fishing, you're just
Yep.
like, "Damn," like, I'm getting
Yeah.
bothered by people left and right,
Mhm.
and one day I was fishing, I'm not gonna say where, and some dude started following me because he knew my car, and it was just kinda creepy, it was like, "Alright," like and it wasn't like because I think he wanted to do something like, he just wanted to know where I was fishing, and, like,
Yeah.
yeah, that you run the risk that when you post all that stuff on social media, so I kinda took, like, a second stance and just was like, "Oh,
Huh.
okay."
Dude, that's
Well,
interesting. Yeah, that can get tough. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's a privacy thing. Like things are on the internet, and yeah, we as creators we take that risk when we post, and yeah, sometimes there's some different people out there, so you never
mhm.
know.
But at the same time, just, like, having through posting YouTube on the Facebook groups and,
Mhm.
like, trying to
Yeah.
be more active on social media with fishing through it, I've met now some of my closer fishing buddies that I spend a lot of time with and got because of that, built those connections and got to go on some pretty big fishing trips since then or got invited places, so I think there's been overall more positive than
Oh,
negative, and that's kinda
absolutely.
what keeps me wanting to do it.
Yeah, yeah, I couldn't agree more. The doing this podcast and stuff, just I met so many cool people, and it like I've made lifelong friends. Like I know for sure some of these people are going to be lifelong friends, or just people you can talk to about life, fishing, anything like that. And when I know that, I always tell myself like, okay, great, this is why I started this in the first place. Like I just wanted to build relationships, make connections, talk to cool people, and that always makes me stay motivated and always like, okay, I'm doing what I wanted to do from the beginning, regardless the outcome. So it's always motivating.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So this is a really tough question because I there's a lot of people that just in the outdoor space in general. But what would you say the biggest myth about content creation in the outdoor space is?
Just because you get views or popular doesn't mean you're good at fishing. Biggest myth right there. Every fishery's got some dude that isn't posting, who's crusty and grinds his butt off and is catching way bigger fish and way more fish than anybody is, and there's people like that everywhere, and I just think that's the biggest thing is, like, people think these guys have followers and
Mhm. No, I agree. Dude, you bring up a good point too. I think about this all the time when I'm out fishing and I'm just like, what if there's just like and there's definitely these people out there that don't post anything, don't have any social media, and they're just phenomenal fly anglers. And like you would
yeah.
never know because they don't use social media. It's like how many hundreds of people are out there that are just like unbelievable at any craft. You never know. There could be people that are Olympic athletes that we just don't know about because they don't post on social media, and it's like, that's bizarre if you think about it. I know, dude, I think about that all the
Yeah.
time, just like how many people are out there that are just, like, really good at something that we don't know, and that's good. They probably wanna be that way, but it's like, "Dang." Oop,
Yeah.
there we
I
go.
mean, I even know a few guys that, like, do post a little bit, but they just don't, like, post everything. They don't hashtag it. They don't post reels. Like, they're not trying to get likes. They just post it and that's it, and they don't talk to a lot of guys in the river, and they're quiet about themselves, so not a lot of people follow
Exactly.
them.
Yeah.
So
Exactly, yeah, so some people hate cameras, they're like, I don't want my face on a camera, absolutely, get that away from me." And,
and
like,
that's another
that's
reason I didn't film as much this year is I fished with a few older guys or dudes that were like that, and, like, the stuff I learned from fishing with them was way more valuable than not fishing with them trying to film
yeah,
it myself, you know what I
dude,
mean?
absolutely. Yeah,
So, I
and, like,
just felt
yeah.
like if I'm gonna be these guys, I'm not gonna film, I'm gonna be respectful because 'cause they're willing to take the time out of their free time fishing to show me give me stuff, show me
Mhm.
spots.
Yeah, yeah, I agree, it's, yeah, whenever you go with other people, especially people you don't really know that you just meet, like, through social media or something, it's always like, do they want to have cameras around? And, like, I always ask, like, "You want me to keep stuff at home?" And, like, a lot of times it's like, "Yeah, please keep that stuff at home." It's like, "Absolutely, no problem." What's your favorite video you've ever made, if you can narrow it down to 1?
There's I can't narrow it down to well, I guess I can narrow it down to 1. I really like the little mini movie I did of the fall and the Driftless.
Mhm.
Just because it was, like, first time I did something like that, and it was, like, not traditionally, I'd have a lot of, like, action of GoPro and fighting fish, but it was kinda more of a cinematic look at things and not more wider shots and more music and kinda just showing off the beauty of the Driftless, less focused on the fish. And, yeah, I actually really liked that video and how it turned out, so
Yeah, yeah. No, that's awesome. It's a beautiful place to show off, and sometimes just catching 1 or 2 fish and then just putting in that scenery in there, and it just kinda flows naturally. It's kinda perfect.
yeah,
That's for
exactly.
sure. What about, most awkward or frustrating moments you've ever had on camera? I'm sure there's a lot, man.
Yeah. Well, like, all the ones I posted, my very first video when I caught that big brown trout, I was just, like, ninth grade in the video, so I was pretty young still. I just yeah, I obviously don't sound like I do now. I was squeaking, and I was sound like a little kid. So like, when that video got posted, like, throughout high school and college, like, people always tease me about that because of that. But I always embraced it. It was funny to me, but that's still kinda, like, one of the more embarrassing ones, just, me as a little kid freaking out over big fish. So,
Dude, that's awesome. There's nothing better than just seeing pure joy on anyone's face when they catch a fish or do anything. It's just to see
yeah.
the passion pour out of someone is like, that's what we do it for. That's
I mean,
awesome, man.
it was 32-inch brown, I can't blame me, I was, like,
Bro,
great, like
I I'll tell you what, I am a full grown man and I would cry if I caught a 32-inch brown trout. Like tears would come down in the drift anywhere, I would
that was
cry.
ridiculous, that was a lake run fish, so different,
Fair.
but still.
Still though, like that dude, yeah, no, I've not even close in the trout world. So that would be incredible. That's awesome. Awesome, man. So I do gotta ask, you're obviously Midwest, you've done a fair share of driftless fishing. And I ask anyone this who fishes in the driftless, lives in the driftless, what does the driftless mean to you?
It sounds kinda corny, but it's kinda magical when you're just driving down from anywhere and you haven't, like, heard of it or been there, and it's like, okay, you're going through cornfields, and boom, you dip down, you're just in this magical valley, there's flowers, there's pine trees, there's these springs coming out, and there's this, like, babbling brook trout stream, and you're just like, "This place real? This the Midwest?" Yeah, that I think is the driftless to me, is just having this little slice of trout heaven smacked in the middle of all these farmland. Not it's just it's unique, there's nothing like it. I don't think there is anywhere else that has that many miles of spring creek water either. I
No,
don't think
there's
so.
not.
I know
Yeah.
PA has their few streams in the chalk streams in New England, but I think driftless tops that for spring creek water, so
Yeah, I believe you are correct. Yeah, I mean, you could live till you're 90 years old and not step foot in every single creek,
yeah,
river. It's impossible. I mean,
it's
especially all 3,
you
4
I mean
states technically. Yeah,
4 years down in college fishing a ton, and I mean, and the issue is with the driftless, it's such good fishing, you find yourself going back to spots. Why
yeah,
explore? I got this spot where I can catch an 18 to 20-inch brown almost every time I go there, so
yeah.
it gets to be that. And I also would say there's a lot of variety there too. Like you do like, yeah, it's a lot of spring creeks, but
Mhm.
surprisingly with that, the springs can give life to a lot of these bigger rivers down
Oh, yeah,
there too. And
yeah.
there's floatable water, but then there's some tiny stuff. It's pretty unique the differences between the widths and flows of some of the rivers down there that hold fish.
Oh, absolutely, man. There's a river near me that it acts like a freestone. It's
Yeah,
not, but, like,
yeah,
it
you
100% acts like it.
mhm.
Yeah, like
I
and it's
say that
different, like
it is. There's a lot of the rivers behave like freestone. The springs help keep trout populations in there through the winter and summer when it's tough
mhm.
times. More often than not, they behave like a freestone.
Exactly, yeah, and those are fun. I do like getting out on those rivers when you have the opportunity. But yeah, no, I echo it, man. It's a special place. It doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel like it's Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, Sliceville, Illinois. But it just it's yeah, it's something like I didn't know about it when I was growing up. I just like, oh, what's in that far corner of Minnesota? Like, there's nothing down there. And then you take one trip and it changes everything, and it's a beautiful place. I wouldn't trade it for any place.
I'll speak on this too because 'cause I've fished out west. I will say they have more numbers of those, like, 16 to 22-inch fish out there. We for sure have the driftless size, like, 10 to 12-inch fish. But if you're talking, like, true 2-foot plus trophy trout, or I it might be honestly a better destination for it in some senses, it seems like. You know, it's tough to get 2-foot plus trout anywhere but the White or Milwaukee in this country, and the driftless has it compares to out west for those truly big fish, and I will say stand on that hill.
Yeah, I believe you. I believe you. Just off of your content and your pictures, like, yeah, they're some big. And you're the second person back to back episodes that have kind of said that. Like, people kind of think, oh, you're driftless, you're catching 10 to 15 inch fish, and no, there's some big boys out there. You got to put the work in.
Yeah. Lance has caught a lot more big fish than me even. He's like, he's the ultimate pro like, he doesn't even post all this. He'll send me stuff all the time. I'm just like, "What do you where? What?" Yeah. It's there's a lot of
Yeah,
secrets in the drift list with some big
there
fish.
is, there is, and like it helps too that it's I think it helps too that it's fairly removed from a very populated area. The Twin Cities, of course, but like that's 2 3 hours depending where you are or more. So like I think that does help the driftless a lot. Like it is pretty secluded. There's not major metro Rochester, sure, but like once you're out there, and some people don't like that, and it kind of steers
Yeah.
them away. And it's like, okay, that's fine.
I would say too, just the brushiness of the streams. Like out west, everything's floatable water. Everything's like it's. I mean, yes, there's some hikes out west. Don't get me wrong, but it's a lot on average easier water to fish out there. Some of our stuff that doesn't look like you take the average angler to the bridge that hasn't trout fished, and you're just like, what? What are we fishing? What is this? It's a jungle. You know, it doesn't look
Literally.
like. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, it,
So
it is tough, man. It is very hard. It's gonna test your patience, it's gonna test your willingness, it's gonna test your craziness. It's like, "Why am I out here in a 2-foot creek that I can jump across?" But there
then
could
you
be
see
a
that hole with a two
beautiful brook.
footer that comes out, miss your streamer, and you're like, oh, yeah,
Yeah, and then it's like, "Wow, you live in here? Like, what?"
yeah,
It can be very frustrating, but it could be so, so rewarding, and, like, honestly, I wouldn't want it any other way because that's what makes it so special, in my opinion, is just, like, it's not for everyone. Like, if you don't wanna work and you don't wanna sweat and you don't wanna get hurt and trip and fall, then the driftless probably isn't 100% for you, and it'll test you. It'll test you, that's for sure, and then so, driftless, Midwest, but, like, in general, what does the Midwest, like, have as a special destination in fishing in your eyes compared to, other regions?
I mean, obviously, it's gonna come down to variety because, like, yes, we don't have the out west, like, trout mecca, but like we were just saying, we do have a lot of nice trout fishing. We have the Great Lakes steelhead, which numbers-wise, I just got back from a trip on some of the other Great Lakes,
Mm,
it's better than the PNW when it comes to numbers. I mean, you can argue they're not real steelhead, but they have some the DNRs in those states have done some really good work to make some great fisheries here in the Midwest. And then that's just cold water we're talking. That's just cold water. I mean, we have the best warm water, I would think, in the lower 48 right here, just 'cause of variety. You got muskies in rivers, in lakes. You have phenomenal bass fishing. Down south, guys love coming up here to catch bass because they don't get the numbers of those medium-sized fish. It's either one big one or one small one all day down there. So they love, come up on fish or smallies and largemouth. So I just think that is what we have over anything is you can go catch a 2-foot trout, go catch a 30-inch steelhead, go catch a 50-inch muskie, go catch a 22-inch smallmouth. You can do that all in 1 month here,
yeah. You really can,
within
and
100 miles. I know, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's or 200 miles. So yeah,
Easily, absolutely, and, like, I think what's cool too about the Midwest outside of just, like, the amount of species in the fishing, I think the culture is so rooted in fishing that it just, like it just reeks fishing. Like, you go to these small little towns and it's just like, this is a fishing town, like, especially up in the Great Lakes area, it's like, oh, like, you just feel it when you step in, and the people, they live that way, you can just feel it when you're in the Midwest, and, like, ice fishing culture is insane in our areas. Like, it's like a whole different community, and it's like I think people flock to that because I don't travel that much, but I feel like the Midwest fishing culture is, I'm not gonna say unmatched, but I feel like it's right up there.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and It's just a good place to be. So, all right, we're gonna go back to the Driftless. So, you spent a lot of time in the area. What are some of you don't have to give a many, but you can give a few, some bizarre stories, encounters that you have had while fishing in the Driftless?
I mean, you obviously have your interesting landowners at times and some interesting people late at night at bridges for sure, but
Mhm.
probably the most crazy thing was I didn't fully see it, but I'm, like, dead sure I saw a glimpse of a cougar while fishing a stream down the Driftless. Story goes, we were fishing with me and my buddy in February right around this time of year. We were fishing some stocked rainbow streams earlier in the day, which I tend to like to fish this time of year, doing some nymphing, and we were doing really good. My buddy, though, he had the flu. He was super sick, but he had drove it down from the city, so we were just gonna fish anyways. And we got to the last spot of the day, and he's like, "I'm out. Like, let me sleep in the truck." I'm like, "But I wanted to still fish, obviously." It was only like 3 o'clock. So I leave him in the truck and I get out there. It was the second time I'd ever fished this creek, and the first time I'd went there, it was kind of like kinda got an eerie feeling, and I spent a lot of time in the woods, like, I've been hunting and fishing since I'm 10, deer hunting, I spent a lot of time in the woods at night by myself and stuff, like and the driftless, most stuff doesn't scare me, like, there's nothing really down there that's that bad, but I will say was aware of the time of cougars, and that was, like, the one thing that does scare me. So I'm back here the second time fishing, and I go a lot farther than I did the first time because it was February, so obviously the brush is down, it's a lot easier to get around, and it's just not good water, not you know how the driftless is, there can be dead water for a while,
Nah.
so I'm just
Yeah.
turning and burning, turning and burning, and I finally get up to this hillside, and I mean, the hair stands up on the back of my neck. I get this weird feeling. It's like no, like the woods are dead quiet. And you know how it is in the driftless. Like usually something's moving. There's a turkey up on a hill, a deer. Like usually you see a ton of deer. There's no deer sign. And this valley is really, really remote. You're far away from any cabins. It's surrounded by a big, big mass chunk of WMA. And I
Oof.
just never like even in the parking lot. I've never seen anybody there. You don't see you usually see a little bit of trash or
Right.
footsteps in the parking lot. It's never there. So I get up on this ridge and I just see, like, a blur of something running across, and it was just moving quick, it was super low, and it made, like, a hissing sound, like, it was probably a good 50 yards up on the ridge and ran across, and I turned around and freaking started running because I just thought, like, I started running, every 30 yards, I would turn back around and just look, turn back around, look, and, like, I don't think it was following me, but I'm pretty dang sure it's a cougar because 'cause I'll go on to say so I get back to the truck, my buddy's woken up from a nap, and he's like, "What's wrong with you?" He's like, "You're freaked out, man." He's like and he at the time, I'll say he carries, so at least I was like, "I'm back at the truck." We got a gun on our side at least now that I'm at the truck. And he's freaked out. I mean, that I'm freaked out because he's like, "I've never seen you like this." He duck hunts with me all the time. He's like one of my fishing buddies, and he's just like, "Dude, what did you see?" I'm like, "Dude, I swear I saw a cougar." We leave, whatever. Like 2 weeks go by, and I'm talking with my buddy and one of his friends at his house, and he lived in the nearest town to this valley, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, I know one of the farmers that lives up there, and he's got a trail cam. He sees cougars on it all the time. You wanna see pictures?" Boom, boom, it's a pair of these 2 cougars that are on this property that's only, like, a mile away from the spot. When I was working at the Ace Lacrosse, I had a lot of older coworkers there, and they all had property in Wisconsin there, and they would always see cougars on their trail cams. I mean, it was, like, pretty common, be like, "Oh, yeah, here's a cougar last month on my trail cam." So there's a fair population in the driftless, I will
I
say.
believe that. Dude, that's crazy. That would be creepy. I agree. I've grown up hunting and fishing, and I've been in some weird places at night and stuff, and it's like, you always, like, feel pretty safe, but, like, the driftless, I always get a little weird feeling sometimes, and it's like, I can't really explain what it is, like, it just sometimes you step into a spot and you're just kinda like,
Yeah,
"Something's
yeah,
just not right here." Like, you feel like you're being watched, and it's like, I don't know why.
yeah. And
And
I don't wanna
it's
scare people. I fished a lot of miles of
yeah.
driftless, and the only one I've seen a cougar, but I know there's a few out there, so I just like, people just you have a head on a swivel if you feel like you're being watched because you might be. And I do have 2 buddies that were fishing more in northern driftless
Mhm.
waters. They for sure saw one at night mousing. They had a picture of its glowing eyes across on the other side of the river, and they, like, talk about it like one of the scariest stories ever.
Yeah, dude, at night, absolutely not.
I'm glad I wasn't there, but both of them have
Yeah.
told me, I was like,
Dude,
"F."
yeah, that's next level, like, I'll mouse a little bit, and I'll mouse by myself, and I'm like, "Eh, that's probably not the smartest thing to
I
do."
will say
Because
the nice thing about Mouse, and there's a lot of those, like, near bridge town spots that
right,
actually wanna be sometimes,
yeah.
but, yeah, I don't go alone if I'm getting far away from the car.
No. No, absolutely not. Couple 100 yards, I'm good.
Yeah.
Dude, that's great. I love that. That's a good story. I have not come across any wild critters like that, but they're out there. I mean, dude, there's black bear that work their way down into the driftless by
Oh, yeah,
following
there's
the
black bear,
rivers.
especially on the Wisconsin side,
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah,
there's a fair amount, but,
yeah.
they're a lot more they're not gonna bother you if they're around kinda
No,
deal. And I
they
don't think
are
the cougars want to a ton either, but
no.
just time of year, I'm sure they do get aggressive and yeah,
Mhm. Oh yeah, yeah. Like you said, February. They're probably getting very aggressive. They're probably
coming out and wanting to
e-
feed, yeah.
exactly. Yeah. No, dude.
Really cool.
That's yeah. That would have had me fired up.
Yeah.
It's a good story. I like that. I like that. I got one more question for you. Just a fun one to kind of wrap things up. What is your go-to snack on the river?
Go-to snack, well, if you're in the Driftless and you got time, you gotta stop at Quick Trip in the morning. That's what I'm doing. I'm stopping and getting Quick Trip in the morning, getting hot food there on the way to the river, and then not eating anything till dinner, but if I had
Hmm.
to pick a snack, I would go with probably beef jerky.
Yeah, that's a good call out, dude. Yeah, Quick Trip is it's an addiction. It's a lifestyle. It's the best. Like it's everywhere, and yeah, you get your breakfast in there in the morning, and you're good to go. Like shout out Quick Trip, man.
Yeah.
It's the Midwest. It saves us all. It saves a lot of construction workers, a lot of outdoorsmen, a lot
Yep.
of people just going to work in the office. Like it's the OG.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice in lacrosse, we had the 24-hour you could hit it after mousing or on the way to duck hunting at 2 in the morning, it was always open,
Yeah, dude,
so
isn't that the original? Like that's like the first one, right?
yeah, that's where their headquarters. There's, like, 12 in lacrosse. You can't go more than, like, a mile without seeing one there. It's
Dang.
ridiculous.
That is nice. That is nice. Awesome, man. Well, it was really fun to chat a little bit of content. You're the first person I've had on that, also makes a little content on the side. So it's really cool to just chat with other people to see what they're kind of going through. Is there any